Welcome back, traders. Second portion of our show, Market Movers. We have Dennis back out of the trade cave here. Dennis, I guess we can start with Alcoa's earnings.
Yeah, they had earnings after the bell there last night, just meeting lower estimates, and obviously stock getting a pop after hours, pulled back to trade above flat. Now it's up again. Obviously the market being up 14 points here, that's probably something to do with why Alcoa is strong here again. You talked about that 950 level, Joel. I do think that is key to hold the 950. $10 could be a psychological number, could have some added volatility, so wouldn't be surprised if that does come into play today, but I think you'd see some resistance up in the upper nines if it was to get that high.
Yeah, I'd keep an eye on this 975, which we hit in the pre-market. Coming back on the downside, keep an eye on yesterday's highs, which was 948 as resistance. Above that 975 level, you had three consecutive highs back in the beginning of December, from 1003 to 1008. That'd be quite a move here for Alcoa, but that resistance is looming at the $10 level.
WebMD, we might as well talk about this one, Joel. It's a train wreck today. Down $9. WBMD is the ticker symbol. They came out lowering guidance. Sales are going to be poor for the next quarter. CEO also resigned. So basically, lowered guidance. CEO doesn't want any part of the show. So stock falling almost $9 now, down $8.87, $27.86 after closing at $36.73. The 52-week low on this one is $25.56. It was a gap down day back in November. I gotta think that might be where it wants to test. We're $2 away from there, but that's a huge level for that thing to hold. 25.56, Joel.
Yeah, boy, the old double whammy, lowering guidance and the CEO resigning, can't be construed as a good thing in any way whatsoever. Seeming to find a little support here in the pre-market at the 27.80 to 90 level. Actually, the lows for the last half hour have been from 27.80 to 28.06. So if you absolutely have to try a buy on this stock on the open, that would be the area of minor support. Below that, Dennis, really can't see a whole lot until that spike down in 25.70. But, if you've been short the stock for a while, a move like this is it's kind of a gift. So you may have some buyers taking advantage of it.
Lululemon. It's not all bad news today, Joel. Lululemon, they're increasing their guidance, and the stock is up significantly here. It's up over $6, trading at $59.61 after closing at $53.44. I'm looking at the chart. I think 60, we had three tops there the last 6 months, right around 60 if we go back to August. We cut through 60 in September. In late October, we almost got up to that 60 area, so I'm just going to call it 60. That might be your initial resistance. We started to take that out. 64.49 is a 52-week high. That seems a little bit out of reach today, but maybe 60 gives you a little initial resistance. What do you think?
Well, Dennis, I think you must have went out and bought 2 pair of yoga pants instead of 1 or something to get this kind of move. 59.95 is where we've been topping out in the pre-market. That's coinciding nicely with that 60 number that you mentioned. Above that, Dennis, you just have a high that you made back in September at 61.80, and then the previous month was at 62.75. It's a tough to buy something like this up $6, but if you're going to do that and it breaks below that 59 area, you may want to look for some cover.
Let's talk about Netflix, Joel. This stock has just had a monster run. We were talking about it yesterday, obviously having the big move, and then yesterday, we talked about it moving up to 90, possibly even eventually testing that 100 in the next few days. Well, I didn't think it was going to get there that fast, Joel, but it got straight up to 100 yesterday, 99.65 topping out at. It's above 100 today, 101.50. So this stock is just a monster run right now. It's all air. Like we said, we came down from 300. There's a lot of air here. I see air all the way up to 120. Not saying it's going straight there, but it has the capabilities to, continue this move for quite some time here. Obviously, when you're buying stock that just came from $72 in 4 trading sessions and goes to 101, it can really move anywhere. So this is really a coin flip as to when the gas, this lets off the gas. But right now, this thing is flying.
Yeah, Dennis, I don't quite see it up to that 115 level. Up to 120 level as you see. I do see a gap that needs to fill at 115. From its last earnings miss. Looking at the pre-market here, we seem to be running into a little bit of resistance at 101.50. 101.50 to 101.60. But as we, mentioned yesterday, you come down from 300 to 60. That's a 240 point move. You take back half of that, 120, and, you put a 180 target on this thing. It's, when these stocks get going one way, one direction, it's hard to stop them.
Yeah, this is the definition of a momentum stock here, Joel. Obviously, back half of last year, straight down, momentum. Now it's just this year and the 5 trading sessions that we have had, it's been straight up, continuing this morning. So I'd be scared to short this thing, but I'd also be scared to buy it. So I'm just not trading this one. This one's this one's like gambling to me. Moving on, Joel, the automotives are in the news. Obviously, we have the Detroit Auto Show going on. I think that helps to propel these stocks up a little bit. Kramer was talking about GM and Ford, giving some bullish comments on them yesterday as well. We should probably do a technical. I'm looking at Ford. I do see some significant size in the $12 area. I think that's what's putting a cap on Ford here in the pre-market. It's trading right at that 12. So if it can break above that 12, then it can continue to move higher. But that looks like initial resistance on Ford. You've pointed out on the site a few numbers on GM. What do you think on those two, though, Joel?
Yeah, I'd have to just reiterate. The psychological number there at $12. The stock's had a nice run from just under $10. I don't expect it to stop until you take a look at this 12.14 level. Which was your high back in October. But the major resistance does stand here at the 12.65 level. Do get a little bit of hype, during the auto show, so just be careful of that. You find support with these stocks trading up. You will find support at the previous day's high. As far as GM goes, really starting to run into some problems here at the 23.50 level. Did hit that in the pre-market as well. Above that 23.50 level, I'd be looking for 23.98, and also psychological $24 resistance.
Which is Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, the $6 billion pharmaceutical company, getting a huge lift here today. It's up over $9, trading at $74.50 right now after closing at $65.48. This thing's been a rocket ship this year too. Must be challenging challenge Netflix, I guess, for the best stock of the year. But it was, closing, at $65.48. It's getting another 9-point lift. They had some good sales come out on their one eye drug. I think that's what's really giving it the Baird coming out and upgrading it today too, is continuing the momentum, Joel.
Yeah, as we talk about these stocks, it's hard to step in front of a train here. But if you're going to step in front of it, take a look at it at 78.40 was the high that we hit in the pre-market on very little volume. After it hit that 78.40 high, it really started to come down, 76.50. So I keep an eye on the 76.50 area, 78.40. And if you're buying this thing early off the open, you may want to think about it exit if it can't hold this $74, because there's nothing in there under 74.
Juniper, JNPR, came out after the bell, lowering guidance. Not terrible. The stock got beat up pretty good. It fell almost $1. And then it kind of rallied up. It was only trading down 30-40 cents last night, near the after-hours close. Today, obviously, getting a lift with the overall market, so it's only trading down 15 cents here. So not too bad for Juniper, considering the fundamental information they released there yesterday. Stock like Cisco often tracks with this, so if you are trading Cisco today, you might want to keep an eye on Juniper. What do you think on technicals on Juniper, though, Joel?
Well, they crushed it down to 1855 immediately when that news came out. The shorts quickly used that opportunity to come in and have basically rallied at almost $3 since that. Actually, kind of getting into yesterday's range here. So actually, just trading below unchanged. Expect major resistance in this thing from 2150 to 22. Coming back on the downside, I'd play yesterday's low and the previous day's low, 2018 and 2037, to be support in Juniper today.
Emulex came out, beat the street last night as well. Stock closed at $7.39. It's trading $8.34 right now. So ELX is up almost $1 here. Decent morning there for ELX. Looking at the charts, we were topping out. November, we topped out a few times there, that 875 area. I wonder if that's where it eventually wants to go. $8 I think is key to hold here too. That was a big technical resistance. I think we're going to obviously open up above there, it looks like. So that needs to hold to continue the rally higher. What do you think on ELX, Joel?
Yeah, looking at the pre-market activity, we hit a high here at 849, so I'd look at that 849 to 850 as resistance. Above that, I mean, your guess is good as mine. Really, when you look at this thing, 878 was the high back on November 16th, so I think you're going to have some major resistance up from, that 850 up to that 880 level. Not a heavily traded stock, so we'll see if you get some profit taking in today. As you said, holding that $8 level, has been able to do that for the majority of the pre-market. If, in fact, they can't hold that, I'd look to go to fill the gap down at yesterday's high at 749.
Overall catalyst for your rally here, we've got the strong, like a stock like Deutsche Bank. DB is trading up over $2. Barclays is trading up significantly, trading up 55 cents. A lot of your other European banks like RBS trading up, even STD trading up. So a lot of your European banks are up. Your U.S. financials are relatively strong for that reason, so expect them to be a little bit stronger. Your commodities overall looking pretty strong here too, Joel. So I'd say it's a financial and commodity rally here this morning.
Yeah, plus, a breakout of that we had over last week's high did it during the night session on us. So really no resistance up in this market, perhaps even getting up near that 1,300 level today. Look for a pullback to the 1281, 1282 area on a retracement as a perhaps entry point. Well, that's market movers for today, folks. We sure hit you with a lot. I hope we gave you some good information, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.